Bonjour, hi! In this video, I want to show you how you could create local .NET secret from an Azure deployment. Let's get started. You just have to do AZD up and .NET run. So often when you try a new demo, there's magic string, just like here. And in those, they contain endpoints or URL or API key and things like that. And you need to find the result and edit those lines to be able to test it. What if those value could be filled for you so it's easier? So as a demo maker, you could make it for a user so it's become super easy. They just have to do AZD up to deploy into Azure and then .NET run to run your application. Sounds interesting, right? So what we want to do is, so when you deploy using, for example, Bicep here, you have at the end of your script or template, you have outputs. For example, here I have one that is called Azure OpenAI endpoint, and that I will receive the endpoint of my OpenAI that I'm deploying in Azure. And it's very useful. I need that, I need the key, and I need a few other things to make sure I can communicate with that service that I'm deploying. But what we want to do is at the end of this deployment, well, this here will output all those generated value, and we want to get those and then generate user secrets. That can be done with a script, obviously, right? So if we look at the script, and by the way, all the code I'm showing here, it's all in the GitHub repo. The link is in the description, so feel free to go there and follow me if you want. Here, we just create a new function. I have a PowerShell version here, also have a bash if you want. So it receives two parameters, so the path and the lines. Lines will be the output. Those output, it's one declaration by line. So we receive all kind of like a series of lines. So we need to change the path because to declare those user secret, we need to be in the good path. So we are going in the specific path. We initialize with the .NET CLI saying, hey, initialize, make sure there's nothing. If like we did try multiple times, then we are making sure it's clear. And then after that, we'll be looping through all those lines, kind of cleaning the value, making sure we can isolate the name of that variable and the value of that variable to then execute again with the .NET CLI here, the .NET user set. That will create a user secret for each value that we have of the output. Okay, so that's the function. Now at the end of that script, what we do is we get those value. So to do that, using the Azure CLI, developer CLI, AZD, we can say, hey, give me all that value. So we'll give us like a series by line, so we can split it and we'll have like a series. Now, your project is a different folder. You could just change the path here and then we pass the line. That will create a new secret for all those value that was generated during the deployment. Right. So now the only thing that is left is to make sure that script is executed at the end of our deployment. When you deploy with AZD up, the Azure the CLI for developer, there's a configuration file called azure.yaml, and you could add specific hooks. And I will put a link in the description so you can learn more because there's a lot you could do with it. And we have a post-provision, action that we can put. And here we declare to run our script. So that then when we do the AZD up, it will deploy the things in Azure, and after that, run our script that will generate all our variable. So I already did it to save us the time. So now if I check, I could run that command here, like .NET user secrets list. That will list me all the secrets that were generated. I'll probably need to hide a lot here just because there's a lot of private information, but let me show you. There it is. So all those secrets were created at the end of my deployment. It's great. So now in the program, if I just minimize this, you know what? Let's clear that. So if I go back in my code, those lines where I was having variable and setting hard-coded value. Now I can change them. The first thing I want to do is make sure I use that package. So you could do a NuGet package or a .NET add package, and you had the Microsoft extension configuration if you're not already using it. And that will give you the capability to create what you need to be able to read that. And after that, it's just saying, hey, give me that, remember, Azure OpenAI endpoint. And just like that, now your app is aware of that value. So now I need to save the file. And if I maximize here, doing .NET run, now the software will just run as it's supposed to be. So .NET run, and voila, it's working. This app is talking to AI, making suggestion for different hikes. Just like that, your demo become much easier to try. Your user just need to do AZD up to deploy in Azure all the resources required, and then .NET run to run your app. And of course, when you're done with the resource, you could do AZD down. Delete all the resources that was deployed in Azure. Voila. I hope that helps. Have a look to the link in the description. There's documentation, there's the code, and if you have questions, leave it in the comments. I'm always happy to answer. See you next time.